In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this half sweater inspired by the 2024 Olympics, Team Kenya. The size I'm making is medium using robin yarn, hook size 2.5, color blue, and I'm going to use approximately 7 balls of yarn. Just don't forget to follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok at Crochet Hub Africa. I chose to use the half double stitch because it turned out so nicely if it was worked without having to turn around. So our work is going to look like this, with the rounds going in a spiral manner. So we are not going to turn back at all. When I started to crochet, I really wanted someone to explain to me beforehand so that we didn't have to jump in on the project before I saw what we were going to do. So I did a little favor to those who think the same way and made this chart and drawing here so that you can check and see what we are going to do beforehand. But of course, skip the demo if you don't really need it. So the thing is, I have divided my project into small bits from point A to point B, from point B to point C, then to D, then to E, then to E0, and what have you. So this chart will explain to you how many stitches or how many rounds you'll need from one point to the other. The figures in blue signify how many rounds or stitches you are going to work, whereas the figures in red are their equivalent in centimeters. Let me shed more light on this. It means that if you're working on a medium sweater, from point A to B, which is the width of that sweater, you require 272 stitches if you're using robin yarn, but you'll require stitches equivalent to 100 centimeters if you're using a different yarn. From point B to C of the same sweater, it means you'll have to make 78 rounds if you're using robin yarn, but an equivalent of 43 centimeters if you're using different yarn. If you have any queries concerning the explanations given, the chart, the diagram, feel free to share with us in our comment section of our social media handles. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. So let's get to work. Begin with A to B with a foundation chain of 274 stitches, as we shall be expected to turn around just once at the beginning of the first round, just once, and that's when we lose the 2 stitches to get back to our 272. 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 274. Skip 2 chains and make half double crochet into the next 272 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 268, 269, 270, 271, and lastly 272. Then merge both ends, ensuring that there's no point the project is twisted, so that we can proceed to our next step, which is point B to C, and that we are talking of rounds, that is 78 rounds. The first round has already been done, so we are moving on to the second round by doing half double crochets into the other extreme end of our project, ensuring that it's also well aligned. So going forward, our work is going to spiral around, all you need is to mark where you began at the first round. Fortunately, there is the string that was left behind by the slip stitch. Ensure that your work is well aligned, especially in the first rounds. We are going to make 78 rounds of this, so it's going to be quite some work, but you are a serious crochet artist, aren't you? It took me an entire day to get to my 78th round, but considering that we are working both the back and the front at the same time, this is possible. But soon after the 78th round, we are going to distinguish the back from the front by working on them separately. We are at C, and by the time we get to D, we are supposed to have lost 8 stitches in 5 rounds. Round 1 of 5, ensure you're working on the stitch right above the point where we merged the 2 ends at the beginning of this tutorial. Work single crochets in the next 4 stitches. Half double crochet in the next 132 stitches. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 126, 127, 128, 129, 130, 131, and 132. Once more, single crochet in the next 4 stitches, 3 and 4. Then half double crochets in the next 132 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 127, 128, 129, 130, 131, and lastly 132. Then single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Slip stitch in the next stitch and cut your yarn. So the last 3 stitches are null and void. We are interested in the 132 half double stitches. So that is round 1 of 5 for both the front and the back. But henceforth we are going to work on them separately, front separately, back separately. In round 2 of 5, go to the 132 stitches we made last and slip stitch in the first half double crochet. Single crochet in the next 2 stitches, then half double crochet in the next 128 stitches. 1, 2 half double crochets, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, 122, 123, 124, 125, 126, 127, and 128. Then, just like we did on the other side when we started our 132 stitches. We shall get rid of the last 2 stitches by doing a single crochet and a slip stitch. Then cut your yarn, go back to the beginning. We are working on the front, round 3 of 5. Insert your hook in the first half double crochet of 128. Then in the next 2 stitches, single crochet, then half double crochet in the next 124 stitches. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 123, 124, single crochet in the next stitch, then slip stitch in the next stitch. Cut the yarn and let's go to round 4 of 5. Insert your hook on the first half double crochet of the 124 stitches we did, then chain 2, then half double crochet in the next 122 stitches. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, and just checking whether I'm right, then 122. Chain 1, cut the yarn. On the last round, round 5 of 5, insert your hook inside on the top chain of the 2 chains you made at the beginning of the previous round, then chain 2, and this allows us to lose 1 more stitch, then half double crochet in the next 120 stitches. One 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, then 120. Put the stitch between the last 2 stitches, making us get rid of the last stitch of the previous round. We are no longer going to decrease our stitches, so we shall maintain them at 120 throughout the rest of the rounds. By round 6, we've moved beyond point D, and start by inserting your hook at the top of the first stitch of the previous round, then repeat a half double crochet in the same stitch, making them 2, then half double crochet in the next 119 stitches. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118. Then in the last stitch, 119, add an extra half double crochet so that we avoid losing an extra stitch. We maintain our stitches at 120. Round 7 is simple. Insert your hook between the first 2 stitches, the ones you made in the same stitch in the previous round, then chain 2, half double crochet in the next 119 stitches. Those 2 chains at the beginning will surmount to your first stitch. So plus the 119, you're going to make total 120. Round 7 is similar to 5 and will be similar to round 9. One oh three, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, and lastly 119. Chain 1, cut the yarn onto round 8. Round 8 is same to round 6. After the chain of 2, do a half double crochet in the same stitch. Then that is just to maintain the 120 number that we already have. Then half double crochets in the next 118 stitches. Then in the last stitch, that is 119, we shall do again 2 half double crochets. Again, the idea is to maintain the 120 stitches, because anyone who has worked with half double crochets understands that the crochet stitches, the stitches alternate with one another. So during that alternation, you can lose a stitch at the end or at the beginning of a round if you're not careful. I would like us to pause here so that we can work on the back a little bit, but just remember that round 6 is similar to round 8 and will be similar to round 12. Round 5, round 7, round 9, all odd numbers are going to be same. And the difference is at the beginning and at the end of each round, you must put 2 stitches if you are working on an even round. Put only 1 stitch if you are working on an odd round. So just to finish this round, in our last stitch, we are going to put 2 half double crochets. To the back, it is very easy to work on the back because the first round was done when we were getting rid of the first 4 stitches on either sides of our project. So that was our round 1. So proceed to round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5, going forward till you reach to the point where we have reached with the front. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and watch out for part 2 of this video, where we shall look at how to finish your sweater using different neck designs. Later.